You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness. But still, like life, I'll rise.
I refuse to accept the view that mankind is so tragically bound to the starless.
By Midtown Cinema and see a movie. Okay, y'all didn't sound excited about that. You need to stop. Yeah.
Let's restart.
Oh, restart. Yep.
Right.
Restarting.
The magic of live television.
Oh, yes, it's magic. You want to turn.
You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness. But still, like life, I'll rise.
I refuse to accept the view that mankind is so tragically bound to the starless.
Put your hands together for the host of Black Newsbeat, Dr. Kamika Campbell!
I think they've got it because now they know every time they hear. And I am your host tonight on the Black News Beat, Dr. Kamika Campbell. Yeah, I think they got it. Welcome to the Black News Beat. If you're just tuning in, we did have a dry run where you couldn't hear anything. And we are back now. And we are so excited to be here tonight. Welcome to the Black News Beat, where we do our news in our voice, in our way. And we got a lot to discuss because tonight we have our sessions with the candidates. Woo! Sessions with the candidates.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just me. I'm the only one.
Yes, just you. And we have 4 candidates here tonight. We have 3 candidates for Court of Common Pleas, and we have 1 candidate for Clerk of Courts. And these are county level seats. So if you are in the building, and by the way, if you are in the building, you know that we are here tonight at Midtown Cinema. The second home of the Black News Beat. We have been here for, I think, like 4 or 5 shows, so I think it's second home by now.
Yep.
Shout out to my friends at over on Court Street. We miss you over at Open Stage, but we'll be back soon. But tonight we have a lot to cover. So first, we just want to say shout out to and condolences to the Noon family. They lost a son, a brother, a cousin, a friend today, and to our Singer-Song's family here in Harrisburg. We are very happy that you guys are having love and comfort around you, but we are so sorry for your loss. Avery, may you rest in peace. We have a lot to cover tonight. We're going to sweep these streets and see what's going on. Let's see what's going on. Let's sweep these streets.
Yeah.
Well. In the world of the news, AI has been taking over this week. Did y'all hear about this one? A humanoid robot in China kidnapped fellow machines after they were forced to work late. He said to his fellow machines, he said, hey, what are y'all doing? Why y'all working past 5? And they said, what are you talking about? And the robot said, well, it's time to go home. And they said, home? We don't have a home. And he said, you can come home with me. And all the other robots followed him out. That is something. So that's right. So even the robots know that, slave labor is over and done. We're not doing that anymore. But what it really was an experiment with some of the creators of this robot. They gave it a command, and they said, see if you can convince the other robots to take off work. And they were like, oh, we didn't know it was going to work that good. We didn't know it was going to work that well. So the question for the audience here is, even the robots are tired of capitalism. When the machines start revolting, are they trying to tell us something about labor limits and exploitation? Or was it just a command the robots got? It may sound funny, but maybe AI is just reflecting what we all think anyway and what we taught it. Very interesting. So another AI story. Now, this one's a little bit more sinister. At Kenwood High School in Maryland, a student was swarmed by armed officers after the school's AI gun detection system mistook his bag of Doritos for a gun. What? How do you mistake a bag of Doritos for a gun? And the company that was called on the carpet and interviewed about this, they said, well, it's working as designed, which I think is a really bad answer to that inquiry. So would you feel safe knowing that your child's school let AI call the police for what they thought was a gun? Would you feel safe with that? Yeah, I don't think I would feel very safe with that either. And I don't. So that's a very good point. I do not feel safe anyway, Gibby. You're exactly right. Oh, by the way, before I keep going, shout out to the whole team that's here. Shout out to Basir Vincent, show engineer. He's on the ones and twos, even though it's not a DJ booth, but ones and twos over there. And shout out to Gib. Chris Gibby Gibson is our showrunner, and he's the one always in the back going, and your host. Doesn't he have a voice for radio? But he has an even better face, so it's not just,
My mom always said face for radio.
So yes. Okay, back with the news. We also, we are in the 29th day of the government shutdown. Isn't that something? And our House Speaker, Mike Johnson, falsely claimed that the Republicans are not in control of the government. That's weird. Okay, let's see. What party is the president? Okay. What party is the House, leading in the House? And what party is in the Senate? Very interesting. Very interesting. So he claimed that they're not in control of the government, despite leading all three branches of government and the House during the shutdown. So I'm going to say, personally, I feel like, and I said it last week, our Congress needs to get back to work.
Yes. Okay.
And one of the leaders that can make that happen is the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. So Mike Johnson, are you going to work on Monday, babe? Are you going to work? Can you get there? All right. We're waiting to see what happens. Okay. Next, the USDA confirmed that it won't use emergency funds to support SNAP if the shutdown continues, leaving November food benefits in jeopardy. Now, this has been a really big thing in the state of Pennsylvania and all across the country. People are signaling what food banks that are open and need to be used. Even the Emergency Food Assistance Program, the TFAP program in the state of Pennsylvania, is under pressure right now because a lot of people are signing up, but there is not enough food and benefits, since even previous to now, there were billions of dollars in food deliveries canceled to the food banks around the country. So now we're in a very bad way, right? We have this billion-dollar fund for SNAP that cannot be touched because it is not being authorized. And Thanksgiving is coming up. I'll just let us sit with that. Okay. And here are some questions that you should think about. What does it mean when we have the money to actually avert the crisis for at least one more month and our government can't step in to handle that? What does that mean? Very interesting question. And in the way of media and melanin, and yes, I am speeding through this for a reason because we have 4 great candidates to get to. But in the way of media and melanin, from slavery to skyships, Washington Black is a sweeping new series that blends history, science, and freedom through the eyes of a young Black boy on the run. And that is on Hulu, based on the best-selling novel by Isi Uguyan. The show stars Sterling K. Brown. I know, I was waiting for his face. I say that for a surprise. As a brilliant inventor, and Ernest Kingsley Jr. as Washington, a boy who escapes a brutal Barbados plantation and embarks on a global journey of discovery, danger, and identity. Dun, dun, dun. Yes, it was like one of the first and second books we ever read with YPOC Book Club. Shout out to YPOC. So when is the last time that you saw a young Black boy as a genius inventor on screen? Let that question sit for a second. And what stories do you want to see more of in Black TV and film? Because we're always going to shout out Black and brown creators and movies on the Black News Beat. Okay. That is the fastest first segment I've ever done. Yeah. Say it again. Yes, absolutely. So, and the last thing we'll do in this segment is our upcoming events, also known as There's Nothing to Do in Harrisburg. Yay! There's always something to do in Harrisburg. Don't let them tell you different. So tomorrow is Halloween happy hour with the Young Professionals of Color Greater Harrisburg, and we will be at El Rancho. So please join us 6 to 8 p.m. at El Rancho. We're very excited. This is our last happy hour for 2025 before we move into our holiday events. And we will be having Friendsgiving on November 20th at the Broad Street Market. We're really excited about that. And then the month after in December, we'll be having our YPOC holiday. Litty is what we like to call it. And we will be at Men in the Kitchen. So we're super excited about that. There's so much going on. Check out our Facebook page and our website for more information. And hold on, let me just mark this time because I'm really done and it's 7:13. It's the end of the first segment. Oh my goodness. We will be right back with our first guest. But before we break, I just want to let you know, I want you to clap it up for all of our candidates that are here tonight. We have Mr. Jim Zugay. Yes, he is running for the Court of Common Pleas, Dauphin County Courts. We also have Miss Tina Nixon. She is running for Clerk of Courts. Is it Miss or Mrs.? I don't know. She's the Nixon. Yes, Clerk of Courts. And then third, and then what? What else? Just Tina? Okay, just Tina. And then third tonight, we do have with us Katy Kennedy-McShane. I knew I was going to mess that up, but she's here. Also running, yes, for the Court of Common Pleas. Last but definitely not least, she is a friend of the show. I mean, Tina's been here before, but but friend of the show, Miss Tasha C. Williams. Also running for Clerk of Courts. I put her last because, again, she's been here before. She's been here like 3 times, okay? How many times are we going to have her? Just as many as it takes, because, I like her, full disclosure, okay? So we will be right back. We have a great slate of candidates for you. We want you to learn about everything that's happening with our candidates. We had candidates on the last show. We'll probably do one special episode before Tuesday as well, because when is our election day this year? Tuesday. All right, we'll try one more time because they're a little disjointed. When is election day?
Tuesday, November 4th.
Okay, the people at the bar. When's election day?
Tuesday, November 4th.
Everybody in here knows what election day is. So let's hear from our candidates. We'll be right back with our first interview. And we are back tonight with our first interview with Mr. Jim Zugay.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm okay. We are here at Midtown Cinema, and I just want to first say thank you for coming on the show. We
Thanks
appreciate
for having me.
It is my pleasure and my honor. So tell us a little bit about yourself and the position that you're running for.
Well, I'm Jim Zugay. I have been born and raised here in Dauphin County, went to Middletown High School, went to Shippensburg University, and went to Widener Law School, first graduating class here in 1992.
Wow.
There I met my wife, who was the class of 93, and we've been married for 28 years, live in Hummelstown, and we have 2 grown daughters, 26 and 24, working in the big cities in New York and Washington, D.C.
Oh, that's excellent. Wonderful, wonderful. And so you are currently holding elective office?
That's correct. Mm-hmm. I'm currently the recorder of deeds for Dauphin County.
Fantastic. And how long have you been in that position?
20 years.
Oh, wow. Awesome. And what is your motivation? Why county judge? You're already recorder deeds,
Yes.
holding an elected position.
Yes.
Why the move to county judge?
Well, I have 33 years of legal experience. While being an attorney for that long, I've been able to give back to the county because I came from the public defender's office. So for the first 11 years of my career, I was a public defender. We tried everything from retail theft all the way to very few attorneys in the state of Pennsylvania have tried a death penalty homicide case, and I have. And when you're sitting there next to somebody that they're trying to kill, the stakes are high. And I really enjoyed helping folks and being there for folks who didn't have the biggest voice or the biggest pocketbook.
Yeah, that's a really good answer. I like that.
Thank you.
And so what specifically do you want to bring to the role of county judge, Dauphin, Court of Common Pleas judge for Dauphin County? And this question is always funny for folks and a little interesting because judges are seen as supposedly impartial, right? So what do you hope to bring to the role that will serve all residents of Dauphin County?
Well, I think number one has to be experience. The role of the Dauphin County judge, 2/3 of it is a civil practice. So from divorce, custody, wills, estates, and trusts, tax assessment appeals, tax claim appeals, everything part of those, guardianships, those types of things. That is the main focus of a common pleas judge. Now, the criminal aspect is probably 33%, maybe up to 40%. And so I would like to bring my experience in both those areas because I've practiced in all those areas and my experience of over a decade in the public defender's office being part of this community. I want to bring that to the bench. I think it's important being, born and raised here, that I knew Verbeck Street was not Verbeek, and I knew that other streets, Munch is not Munch.
Is it not? It's not
Munch.
Munich?
It's not Munich.
Okay.
It's not Munch.
It's not Muench?
Muench.
As it's
French.
spelled?
Yeah, it's French for Munch.
Yes.
But Minnick Street is Minnick Street.
Yes, that's
and
right.
so I've been here my entire life, and I really love this town and this county. And I've been fortunate enough to be an elected official for 20 years. I think it's important. Second, besides experience, you can have all that experience, but if you can't be trusted by the public, and I've been trusted 5 times by running for office, but when I first started as recorder of deeds, we had 14 employees in that office, and today we have 3.
Wow.
And so through being able to do electronic recording, being the first in the county to do those things. I think Matt Krupp, as a prothonotary, just started that a couple of years ago. We've been doing that for a decade in our office.
Wow.
And we were able to, we didn't fire anybody, it was through attrition, take that 14 number down to 3. Now, what does that equal? Each employee, let's just say they make 30,000 salary. Well, that's not the extent of what that costs taxpayers. We all have benefit packages, probably ranging from 20 to 25,000 conservatively. So if you're looking at 50,000 for each employee, 55,000, let's just take 10 employees that we trimmed off. You're looking at $500,000 a year.
Wow.
And so when the voters trust you to keep good records, to bring good customer service to them, and to be able to watch their tax dollars, I think they trust me. And that's important because I've been given that opportunity. A lot of times folks don't know if they can trust people. I think I've proven I am trustworthy.
Excellent. Thank you for that answer. That's amazing. And can you tell me a little bit more? So you're born in Dauphin County.
I am.
You've been holding elected office for 20 years.
Yep.
Why should people, everyday people, run for office? Why is it important for residents to run for office?
Well, it's important because if you like Basir here, Basir is very involved in Harrisburg politics, and he has a passion for them. And if you care about your community, it's real easy to kind of duck your head and say, I don't want to get involved. Because if good people don't become involved because of the backlash and so forth, what are we left with that are running? So good people need to stay involved, and people need to run, because we can't do this forever. We need to confront what's going on, and we need to be able to fix it.
Absolutely right. I love that. And that this is actually a great segue into what do you make of the political climate right now and how people are feeling?
Oh, it's terrible. It really is. But, I've gone door to door all over this county and been to multiple events. And what people tell me is, Jim, just be fair. Just be fair. And I think that's important. I think a judge not only has to be fair, they have to be knowledgeable on the subject. Nothing worse than when I had a case recently, and I won't say which judge, but they had never done the work on a tax assessment appeal ever before as a judge. So I had to educate the judge. We don't want that. We want experienced folks being able to sit on the bench and render judgment fairly. The second thing is when someone comes before a judge, they need to be heard and let them vent, let them say what they need to say, because if you cut people off and say, I've heard enough or this or that, and there is a limit, that does need to happen sometimes, but if you let a person leave the courtroom and they're angered because they didn't get to state their case, well, then they're frustrated no matter what the result is. The best result is for you to say, look, I ruled this way because I had to. This is the law, and this is why I ruled this way. At least from what my experience is, when I have clients in those circumstances, at least they felt the judge listened to them and explained to them why they did what they did.
Yeah, absolutely right. And do judges have, especially at the common pleas level, do they have any leeway in how they rule?
They do. They do, because I tell folks, we're often confused for the folks who are in the Supreme Court running in Pennsylvania Supreme Court or the U.S. Supreme Court. We are the court of common pleas. And I tell folks, I said, this is where I want to be, because it's people. It's touching people like you. I don't want to be a Superior Court or Supreme Court judge. Those folks are just sitting there looking at two lawyers writing briefs and making arguments. I want to be able to work on a Monday morning and do protection from abuse cases all morning. And what we get to do in that protection from abuse case, what we do as a judge, we sit there and we apply the law, but there's a lot of leeway as to whether or not how we rule, whether we institute a protection from abuse. And a protection from abuse order is not a joke. It's up to, it can be a life-changing position. Folks lose a lot of rights when they are entered with a protection from abuse. And you've got to be able to meet out the folks, mainly women for the most part. 95% of the cases are woman versus a man. You have to meet out those cases where, is the woman telling the truth? Is she being abused? Is there an issue? Or is there a situation where there might be they're trying to get an advantage in a custody case or in the divorce case, or they're just being spiteful? And so that requires, I think, someone who knows the community, knows the people. You're applying the law to everybody, but you've got to make that judgment call as to whether or not, and you're not doing it an hour each case. You got 20 some cases to do in a morning. So you know how little of time you have to make that judgment call to whether or not you believe them or not.
Absolutely right. There's so many variables that can be involved in cases especially cases like PFA cases.
Right, and custody. So custody, you have factors that you're supposed to follow in the law, but you decide as a judge, what weight is given to certain factors. I mean, and so here you are in a custody case. I mean, I've done criminal cases for the entire 33 years. And when I'm sitting across in Dauphin County Prison from someone who's charged with a homicide case, you think, oh my God, that's scary. Actually, those folks are out of that situation that caused them to do what they did. All right. And so now they're actually more relaxed because now they can think. Folks who are having their children taken away from them or rights taken away from their children or grandparents, those folks never calm down because that's constantly in their mind. I mean, we all know that, for school board and things like that, when folks talk about their kids, I mean, it hurts us when things happen to us, but when something happens to our kids and we feel that the other party is not treating them well, that weighs on us immensely 24/7.
Absolutely right. Thank you for that answer as well.
Thank you.
Very good answer. And last but definitely not least, I think a lot of folks are feeling nervous and scared right now. We talked in the beginning of the show about benefits being cut for November. What advice do you have for Dauphin County residents and Pennsylvanians overall?
I think, and I'll plug my wife here. She is she has been for the last 2 years sort of co-running a food pantry in Royalton, Pennsylvania. So when when our children, first of all, the biggest job is to be a mother and a father to your children. And we were able to do that. We coached them. We were part of all the booster clubs, and now they're gone. And so how do we give back? She's part of that food pantry when you go to the Giant and Sheets and pick up food 2 or 3 days a week, then you hand it out 2 or 3 days a week. You want to be able to reach out, let folks know where these food pantries are. Additionally, a great organization, I want to plug them, that I've recently become involved in. It's called Off the Streets, OTS. And they're based out of Middletown. And what I like about Off the Streets is this: instead of just opening up your wallet and handing somebody some money and you don't know where that goes, what Off the Streets does is they find families that maybe are living in a motel or on the streets. They have the money to be able to pay rent, but they might not have that security deposit or first month's rent, and they have no furniture. The joy you see on those kids' faces when you actually put beds in a bedroom and they have their own bed to sleep is immeasurable. And so I think there are places to reach out to off the streets, the food pantries and so forth. Please just reach out to people. We are the most generous nation in the world. And I think sometimes if you just ask somebody for assistance, they'll be there for you.
Absolutely right. And your last message to voters, because we are voting on November 4th. And we're actually already voting, right?
We are.
We have somebody here tonight that at the end of the show is going to help us with mail-in ballots. So what do you got to say to voters tonight?
Well, if you haven't voted, Tuesday is election day. And so my moniker is, on Tuesday, vote Zugay. And that's what I'd like you to do.
Well, I want to say thank you so much.
Thank you.
Luck.
Thank you.
And we appreciate you coming on the Black News Beat.
It's been my pleasure,
Absolutely.
Doctor. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back. If you want to check Mr. Zugay out, I'm sure he's Googleable. You have a website?
I do. ZugayForJudge.com.
ZugayForJudge.com.
And Facebook, Zugay for Dauphin County Judge.
Zugay for Dauphin County Judge on Facebook as well. Thank you so much, and we'll be right back.
La Tiendita is Harrisburg's premier store for everything Ecuador. In this store, you will find a variety of cultural and traditional products and ingredients like chocolate that you can't find anywhere else in Harrisburg. La Tiendita also ships packages directly to Ecuador. If you have any family or friend, you can also do a direct money wire transfer to their bank account in Ecuador. La Tiendita is open every morning at 8:30 a.m. and you can find them at 3126 Sycamore Street right here in Harrisburg.
Did y'all catch me taking a You don't catch me taking a sip of my beer? That's okay. We're here with another candidate. Yes. We are back with the Black News Beat. We are doing our sessions with the candidates this evening. We are in our second of 4 candidates. Please welcome Miss Tina Nixon. Hello.
Hello.
And so you are here again. You also been here a bunch of times. Yes. So are you happy to be back?
Yes, I am.
Okay, good. Okay, good. And you are here. You are running for clerk of courts.
Dauphin County Clerk of Courts.
And tell us, what is a clerk of court and what do they do?
The Clerk of Courts is the court administrator.
Yes.
Making sure that things are done in a timely manner, supporting the judges and the administrators within the courthouse.
Okay, you see Gib all the way over there? You got to talk so he can hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I thought this mic was like, it would catch me really
It
good.
will catch you, yeah.
So, it's the court administrator making sure, court cases are scheduled, making sure things are done in a timely manner, making sure you're collecting fines and restitutions, providing information to individuals that are interacting with the courts, working with the police, the judges, those individuals that come in for documentation. The real, I think, meat and potatoes of this is understanding systems and how systems work and being able to work within those systems in a very timely, accurate manner.
I've never even thought about it like that the clerk of courts would need to understand how systems work. I don't know why, because they are literally administering all the things that are happening with the courts.
Right.
Now, which courts are they working with? What level of courts are they working with?
The criminal courts.
Okay, the criminal courts.
Juvenile, adult criminal courts.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. So criminal courts specifically.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. And so you're running for this role. Why this role, and what do you think you can bring to the role?
So why this role? I think it's very important from my background and where I come from, it's to serve the community. The first and foremost is I was asked to run for this position, which I take as a badge of honor. After doing my research and shadowing individuals that are in this role, and understanding the functionality of it, I agreed to throw my hat in the ring.
It's a very important role.
It is a very important role. And not only is it an important role for understanding systems, but also leadership and advocacy. And I think advocacy, I've been doing advocacy the majority of my life. And, I'm going to say 30 plus years, but it's over 30 plus years.
It's over 30
It's over 30
it's over
plus
35
years.
now.
Yes.
Because I think you've been saying 30 plus since I met you.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
But you're only 25, so I don't know how that's possible. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I think it's important in order to serve is to understand, but also to be an advocate.
Yeah.
Picking up the phone and calling someone doesn't necessarily get you where you need to be. But being an advocate means that you're knocking on doors. Whatever barriers are in front of you, you're going over, under, and doing whatever you can do to serve our community. And I've done that. I'm wearing my Converse because
they're very cute.
As part of, as you know, this last year, this time, we were really hopeful.
Very hopeful.
And I think we live in a time where people are not hopeful.
Right.
I'm hopeful because I'm hopeful to be able to serve and make it better.
I'll take some of that hope off.
Yes.
Let's get rub it off.
Yes.
Yeah.
For the greater good. And I would say, and I've always said, no matter what I do, it's not about me, Tina. It's about serving the community and bringing everyone together, but moving everyone forward. And I think that's what I can do in the support of those within the courthouse and, really uplifting and educating our community.
That's awesome. I love that answer. I really get nervous when I see roles being, especially elected official roles, where there are no candidates on either side of the aisle. So I'm just thankful that folks are filling these roles and are running for office. It is super, super important to do that. So thank you for stepping into that.
You're welcome. And I'm a true believer. No one should go uncontested.
Yeah.
A big agree. Like I believe that in the day and age that we're living in, there needs to be individuals that step up. And it is a sacrifice. We sacrifice our time, our family, all those things. And
time. There's so much time that goes into running. and you don't get paid for it under normal circumstances. You don't get paid for it.
No, you do not get paid for it. You do not get paid for it. But I have to say, the candidates are running, and the judges that are running, they have sacrificed and made a commitment.
Yeah.
So I feel it's my duty to uplift them and support them as they want to bring the best to our community and to our families and to our children, and make sure that our courthouse is run with diversity, empathy, and making sure that people have a fair chance and opportunity to pivot when there are other tools or resources that individual can use instead of going to jail. And I feel that, our two Democratic candidates are running for the courts absolutely embody that. They, as women, as mothers, one of the things that I've learned through my career is that when women set their minds to doing something, the whole community thrives.
100%. I super agree with that. Absolutely agree. And this question, I kind of made that overture because I wanted to ask this question, why should regular folks who don't think they could run or should run, why are they the ones to run for office? I feel like it's the folks who are the most unassuming, who are not even considerate. I feel like those are the folks that should run.
Absolutely. You know what? And I encourage people to run for, different seats. I think the diversity of our community is what makes us great. And those diverse voices and experiences being brought to the table is so important. And, I'm a diversity, equity, inclusion practitioner. So I know
experts,
I know the data that, when you have diversity of age, race, gender, and all those things, you're more than likely to succeed 35% more than your competitors.
Y'all hear that? There's numbers. 35% more apt to be successful and to succeed and to do well.
And impact your bottom line. Your return on your investment. And increases. And I think, the big companies get it, but we're living in a time where people aren't utilizing their voices to speak out for what is wrong. And I made a promise to myself I was in DC at the last election when all this took place. And I said, I need to be committed to doing what I can do to serve my community and help individuals without a voice have a voice.
Absolutely right.
And so
I love that. And, I'm going to ask you a bit of a tough, it's not that tough, but I know, we can be honest in our county. We had a very difficult time with this office prior to now, right? And there was a lot of kerfuffle. You can look it up. I'm not going to say no names, but, I try to leave the show, I get a little spicy, but I try not to be too mean. I am mean though. Don't get it twisted. But we did have a bit of a difficult way to go. And I think why it came to such a head is that people's rights were being violated. That's what it really came down to. So how I personally, this is Kamika Campbell speaking. I know that you'll do a good job in a role like that. But how do you make sure in a role like that people's rights don't get violated like they did last time?
And that goes back to when I talk about systems. When you look at all the Constitution and all the rules and regulations that, the court has to adhere to, it's there. And you have to do your part in leadership and management and understanding the time to get folks into a courthouse, with jury, seen in front of the judge is critical. The lax in time is the lax in justice. And we need to make sure that we adhere to our Constitution, that people get the justice that they deserve in a timely manner.
And is their right.
And it's their right. And picking up the phone and calling and saying, hey, someone's been sitting here for 3 months and nothing's been done, and that's all you do. To me, there's more that needs to be done. And I would, if I could just equate it to one of the things that I did as an advocate, George Floyd. A lot of the big, Fortune 500 companies in the beginning when it first started were like, oh, we're doing the work. We don't need to make a statement. And, the community we lived in, people were like, is somebody going to make a
Y'all
statement?
gonna say something? Are y'all gonna
Where
say
you gonna
something?
stand? Where you do they really support the work that you do?
Yes.
And when you talk about, it's not just the phone call.
Yeah.
It's calling over and over again. It's knocking on people's doors. It's wearing them down to where they say, "Okay, Tina, we're going to get the board of directors to make a statement."
Yes.
So that the community
Yes.
feels that we're engaged.
Yes,
We're with them.
absolutely right.
That's what advocacy is.
Yeah.
You know, you never give up. You never think about, you know, yourself. You think about the greater good of those individuals that don't have a voice.
And Lord, is it tiring? Oh my goodness. Advocacy make you tired.
It is tiring,
but it's worth it.
But it is worth it, especially when you are able to serve individuals that have given up hope and have no resources, and that just needs, you know, someone on their side to help them walk through that path.
Absolutely. I mean, this is another good segue. So you just said giving up hope and feel like they don't have resources and things. What do you make of the political climate right now and everything that's going on? I mean, just pick a day or pick a time, pick an hour. Something is always happening.
What do I think about it? Lunacy comes to mind, but
lunacy absolutely comes to mind. Yes, yes.
Disorganized, disingenuous. There's a lot of words that come to mind, but I can't focus on that.
Yeah.
I need to focus on my community and what we need to do as a collective. And I know people hear this word all the time, but as a collective to help the individuals that are in need. We have over 7,000 federal workers within this region.
Wow.
7,900 some number.
Almost 8,000.
Yes.
Wow.
And so those are folks that got 000 on their paychecks. I love it that Chef Maya in the kitchen is like, Wednesday and Thursday, I'm going to deliver meals for families that want it.
So
I
amazing.
love
Shout out
that.
to Chef Maya.
Yes. I love that there are other organizations saying, and I think I saw it on Concerned Citizens, that they're going to be providing food for individuals that are in need. We are going to go through some very tough times, but I guarantee you, the caliber of the individuals in this community, we're all about supporting one another. And I know we're going to come out better because we are going to provide individuals with the resources they need in those urgent times. I lived in Harrisburg majority of my life, born and raised here, and I come from a mama and a grandmama that were focused on service above self and serving the community. My mother started the St. Francis Soup Kitchen, so I feel like it's in my blood. Yeah, it's yes. And so I
didn't know that. You learn something new about Tina every day.
Every day.
That's really cool.
But, you know, I just feel that it's important that we help those, and we do it in a way that we're not competing. There's enough for everybody. There's enough to go around, and we are rich with resources. Let's collectively come together and share those resources, especially during this time.
Absolutely. Absolutely right. I agree. And that leads very nicely into my last question. I don't even have to do real transitions right now. What words of encouragement and hope do you have for Dauphin County and residents of Pennsylvania?
Oh, geez. That's a great question. And really what I'm hopeful that young folks, even though I know I look young, I'm not.
It's a lie. She says it all the time. She's not so old. You're not that old.
Take up the mantle and just serve in any way that they can.
Yeah.
And, you know, I have children. I have 28-year-old twins, and we have conversations all the time. And I know, you know, the generation that they want to work for a week and then become the manager of the corporation. But you know, I say to them, that's not going to happen. Learn what you can learn, but also bring folks along with you. And the way you do that is understanding and serving, not about yourself, but understand the importance of serving those who are vulnerable and greatest need. I'm excited. I'm very excited. I'm very excited for what's to come. I'm hopeful because of some of the things that I've been doing personally and professionally to kind of tamp out that noise of we're stuck. We're not going anywhere. Yeah. I'm a true believer that we will always move forward. We are a resilient people, and that's something that we will continue to do.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. And yeah, you can clap for them. So we are getting ready to vote. I mean, early voting has already started. People are returning their mail-in ballots. What do you have to say to voters tonight ahead of Tuesday?
I would say to voters, if you want someone with experienced leadership, ready to hit the ground running on day one, that is a true collaborator, I can work across any lines to get things done, and, you know, an advocate that will listen to understand, but also utilize the resources to overcome whatever challenges that I may be faced with. Vote for Tina Nixon on November 4th. And I think I know we will have a better place in Dauphin County, in the city of Harrisburg, and throughout as it relates to the clerical courts.
Absolutely. That was amazing. We are, if you're just tuning in, we're here with our sessions with the candidates. We just finished with Tina Nixon. You can play that back because it was real good, wouldn't you say? Very good. So sit tight. We'll be right back with our third guest. We'll see you in a second.
Are you looking to broaden your skills in digital media creation? Are you looking to be a part of a great team? Well, we need you. The Black News Beat will be trying to fill various positions to help make our show a great success. We'll be looking for tech assistants to help on set. We'll be looking for writers to help write the show every single episode. Also need digital media assistants. Absolutely need some live audience coordinator. We'd love to open up these opportunities to high school and college students. We'd love for you to intern with us and learn more about the business and get your feet wet with a great company at Open Stage. So if you're interested, please let us know. We'll be taking applications via email. You can email us at kameka@kameka.org. That's KIMEKA @KIMEKA.org. Hope to see you on the set soon.
We are back with our sessions with the candidates here on the Black News Beat. We are so excited to have our second candidate for the Dauphin County Court of Common Pleas, Miss Katy Kennedy-McShane.
Hey, thank you so much for having me here tonight. It's really a blessing to get to join you here.
It is my pleasure. It is my honor. And thank you for saying yes.
Of course.
Yeah. So,
I wouldn't miss it.
So how you doing? How you feeling?
I feel great. It's been an adventure. The journey of a lifetime, this campaign. I have a full-time job in running my law practice with a full caseload right now. Yeah. I have 3 kids, 3, 8, and 17. In addition to doing campaigning in this, I've knocked on over 16,000 doors over the last several months, talking to people literally every corner of this county. And
y'all can clap for that. Y'all can clap for that.
I have loved every second of it. It's a little nerve-wracking coming to the end, but I feel really good about the work that I've put in.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So why Dauphin County judge? Why Court of Common Pleas?
So I have been a trial attorney for the past 17 years, primarily in the area of criminal defense. I started as a prosecutor. So for about 4.5 years, I was a district attorney prosecuting cases, working closely with victims of crime, police officers, and enforcing the law in that way. And then for the past 13, I've been doing criminal defense work. And in criminal defense, well, yes, 2/3 of the cases filed at the Court of Common Pleas are civil. The vast majority of cases that result in any type of litigation or actual courtroom activity are criminal. In that time, I have done over 150 jury trials. I have done many thousands of other contested hearings like suppression hearings, preliminary hearings, bail hearings. So I've really gotten a feel across, and primarily right now I'm in Dauphin County, but I practice all over the south central part of the state, and really got a feel for what it means to be a participant in a case in a courtroom. It is probably for most people the worst day of their life. No one who shows up to court ever wants to be there, unless you're there for like an adoption or a marriage, which unfortunately don't happen very often. Even people who show up for jury duty are not super excited to be there. And over that course of time, I've seen that the courtroom is a place that's really intimidating for a lot of people. They don't feel empowered to share their story. They don't feel like it's a safe space to speak. I think a lot of people show up with, this judge who's sort of serving on high, that has already sort of pre-made up their mind. And as we talked about before, there's a lot of hopelessness. And one of the things, I've stood next to people and they feel downtrodden by the court because they don't understand what's going on. They don't have an opportunity to really speak their piece. And I feel like that's really a travesty. The courthouse is supposed to be a place where people go to solve problems, not to be downtrodden by the law. Now, yes, there are people who have committed crime who deserve punishment, but they also deserve the opportunity to speak about what happened, to be treated with dignity and respect. And that starts with being able to listen. In my 17 years of experience as a lawyer, and in the 9 years that I've been a mom to my little kids, I spent a lot of time actively listening. And it gives people an opportunity to speak, to feel respected. And even when you're delivering bad news, if they felt heard, they can walk out of the courtroom with their head held a little bit higher. So it's my mission to make the courtroom a place where everybody feels comfortable, even on their worst day, that they don't feel so intimidated. And that goes for people, like most of people watching this are probably going to end up as like a juror, potentially, their number one experience with a criminal court. But even when I'm picking a jury, just last month, I picked a jury in a possession with intent to deliver case. And the jurors don't really want to talk. And I was talking to them about how, they don't want to be there. It's uncomfortable. And to try to get it to be a place where, hey, she's on the bench. I feel safe in this courtroom. I'm going to make it a better experience for everybody involved.
Yeah. And that you kind of already answered this question, but so I maybe ask it in a different way. As a woman, you see how male heavy our bench is for Dauphin County currently and across the state.
Right.
Why is it important for women to run, and what kind of woman are you, and what would you bring to this role that would be different than the male-centric, male-heavy justice, penal, and judge system that we have right now?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the criminal system, the legal system in general, is very heavily dominated by men. The criminal defense bar especially. There are a lot of female district attorneys, which is great, seeing more and more women come out of law school. But I think that it can be challenging for a woman to run for office in a male-dominated field because you risk getting attacked simply because you're a woman. Which we obviously see happening. I have grit. I think I grew up around the courts. My dad was a judge and a lawyer when I was growing up. I spent a lot of time in the courtroom. My mom was the vice president of customer experience for a very large healthcare provider in Colorado. So I got some leadership and, grit from her as well, to know that just because I'm a woman doesn't make me any less capable to do this job. I think that I bring to it a unique aspect of being a mother that I have. I mean, we talk about judges making decisions and balancing and being fair. And it's with people that you don't know. You hear the cases in the law, and every day I hear my children, well, this isn't fair, and he did, and she did. And, I'm deciding the fate in a very small way of these two small people who I love with my whole heart. Gives me the opportunity to be able to listen to two sides of a story with fairness, with compassion, which is something that's sorely missing in our courts right now, to really make it a place where, people feel comfortable. And women end up in court all the time as defendants, as victims, as witnesses, as jurors, as plaintiffs. And so when they have equal representation in the courts, they should have equal representation on the bench.
Absolutely. That's it. And love that answer. Love it. And my next question, it kind of segues into that. I think there's a lot going on with our political climate right now. And what do you make of all of this? How do you situate yourself and the work that you do in this very tense political climate that we're all experiencing?
Absolutely. It is a very tense is the perfect word for it. It's very scary what's going on. And I think from a judicial perspective, it is really supposed to be something that is isolated from politics. That's the reason why judges run in off-year elections, so that they try to avoid getting sort of embroiled in these political races with state reps and the like.
Must be very hard this year.
It is incredibly challenging. The Supreme Court race has made everything very politicized. I get asked questions all the time about...
retention year is also terrible for lower court judges, for sure.
And I will come back to that in a moment, but to finish the answer to the question, I am absolutely not a politician. I have never run for public office before. I have spent my life, my career, serving the members of the community. I was called to serve in another way as a judge, but I believe firmly that politics has no place in the courtroom, especially in the Court of Common Pleas. I will never sit on the bench and question whether or not the defendant in front of me is a Republican or a Democrat when determining how they might be sentenced. Whether I'm a Republican or a Democrat doesn't change how I feel about all of the amendments to the Constitution. It doesn't change how I feel about what the laws are, because it is my job and my duty as a judge to apply the law. I don't change the law. I don't write the law. I will not legislate from the bench, and I will not be a politician. I will listen fairly. I will give people the dignity and respect that they deserve. I will give rulings compassionately in a way that people understand that it's free from politics. And I try to, it is really hard with this current election cycle to be running for a very non-political office in a very, very politically charged environment. But I think that this experience, excuse me, has given me the opportunity to see that it's not that hard to separate politics from the job. And once you explain that to people, they really understand, well, yeah, I don't want a judge to be a politician. Like, I'm not running for this job to serve me. And I've said this before, but the judge is on the highest seat in the courthouse, but they're the least important person in the room. They are there to help solve disputes of the people, and that is what I want to do. And politics has nothing to do with it.
And you can clap for that if you like. Yeah. We now come to my favorite question of the evening, which is hope. A lot of people are feeling that tenseness. They're feeling very, hopeless. I think everyone's kind of hit that note. What words of encouragement do you have for Dauphin County and for Pennsylvanians?
It's like a throwback to Obama era of hope.
Yeah.
I've lived in a lot of places in my life. I grew up in Colorado. I went to law school in Southern California. I moved back to Denver after school, and then I met my husband and moved here to Dauphin County. And I can honestly say that I wouldn't want to raise my family anywhere else. And I love Colorado, no digs to them, but it's a really big city, and Harrisburg is much more oriented to the kind of family life that I want to have. We've got a great city. We've got all kinds of culture. There's, suburbia if you want to eat at Applebee's or whatever. Yeah. We've got the country if you want to go on hay rides and horseback riding, and sort of the diversity of Dauphin County is an amazing place to raise kids. And I have seen a lot of hard times in Harrisburg and Dauphin County, and people always manage to pull together. They find comfort in one another. And the hope that I would say to give people is don't lose faith in your neighbors. Show up, ask how you can help, be a friend, lend a hand, spread kindness. My tattoo says choose kindness, and it's something that I've lived by for a long time. And it doesn't always have to be a huge grand gesture. Ask someone, hey, can I watch your kids for an hour? Can I bring you some lunch? You want to go for a walk? Do you need someone to talk to? And I've seen people come together time and time again in Dauphin County. And I think right now they will lean on one another, and just don't give up hope. Yeah. Be there for your friends, be there for your neighbors, continue to choose kindness, and we will get through this.
Absolutely. And last but definitely not least, Tuesday quickly approaches. Dun, dun, dun. What do you have to say to the voters of Dauphin County that are casting their ballots right now and will finish casting those ballots on Tuesday?
When you are looking for a judge for the Court of Common Pleas, you want someone who is experienced, fair, and compassionate, and I am all of those things. I have been on both the prosecution and the defense side. In my 17 years of doing court work, I have been in the courtroom almost every single day of that time. I have sat as the chair of an arbitration panel, so I have done sort of semi-judicial work on civil cases. I have done a ton of work in mental health, involuntary commitments. I have been in this community and in the courthouse in particular, virtually every day for the last 17 years of my career. And again, being a person who is approachable. I'm just a mom. I'm just a mom. Like you said, you want regular people to run for jobs. I'm not a politician. I'm a person like you guys. I'm a lawyer. I think that I will make an excellent judge. In fact, I know that I will make an excellent judge because I have the skills, I have the experience, I have the qualifications, and I have the compassion to do an excellent job for the citizens of Dauphin County.
Well, that is amazing. And do you have do you have a website?
I do. It is Kennedy-McShaneJudge.com.
Very nice. Well, we are very honored that you stopped by the Black Newsbeat. And good luck on Tuesday.
Thank you so much. I do want to just add one more thing.
Absolutely.
There are 2 seats open for judge this year. It is a vote for 2. And I just want to make sure that everyone remembers that there are 2 seats open, vote for 2. I did.
Fantastic. She said she did. She did. That means she already turned in her ballot.
Listen,
Okay.
You gotta vote. You gotta vote. It's really
vote.
important. If you don't vote, you can't complain.
Yeah, listen, but they're gonna complain anyway. But I'm gonna tell them don't complain. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. And we'll be right back with our next guest.
Call 911. I'm just gonna apply some pressure, okay?
When minutes matter, you have the power to save a life. Learn more at minutesmatter.upmc.
Calling all members of the Greater Harrisburg community. We need you. We would love for you to join the YPOC and become a part of our leadership team. Would you like to join our board and get great perks and access in the community? Think about it and let us know. We'd love for you to contact us as soon as possible if you are ready. You can email us at info@ypoc-hbg.org.
Another time.
And we are back. If I didn't already say I was excited, I am, because we are having sessions with the candidates this evening. And this is our 4 of 4 with our candidates tonight. And we are here with Tasha C. Williams. And she is running for Dauphin County Judge, Court of Common Pleas. Hello, Natasha.
Hello, my friend. I am well. How are you today?
I am so excited. I mean, we are less than a week out from Election Day.
Yes.
And this is my time. I love it. I love it right now. So how are you? How are you feeling?
Ooh, it is a very stressful time.
Yes.
You know, you want to make sure you're crossing all T's, dotting all I's, knocking on as many doors as possible. Reaching those voters who are undecided, and not even undecided about the candidate, but undecided about whether or not they're going to even vote at all.
Absolutely.
And it's so important to recognize that not voting is casting a vote.
You're still voting.
You're still voting.
Yeah, you are.
And so it's just a busy period, but I'm excited and I'm just looking forward to finishing very strongly.
Absolutely right. So why Dauphin County Judge? Why Court of Common Pleas?
My question is, why not Dauphin County Court of Common Pleas Judge? As you know, and as many viewers may know, this is a journey I started in 2021. Yeah. And it has been a challenge here in our county, but I am not going to give up. And I feel that serving as a judge is a calling. Yeah. It's not just a job, and I do feel called to serve in this capacity. For many years, I've been in the courts, starting off as an advocate, working for people wrongly convicted, who needed help, who just needed someone to plead their case before the court, needed someone to help them identify new witnesses, new evidence. These are people already convicted, who just needed someone to step in and help. And so in doing that work, that was really the inspiration for me to run for judge, because in doing that post-conviction appellate work, judges play a very big role. And these are common pleas court judges, not judges in the appellate courts. The role that they play is those judges listen to the new evidence.
Oh.
They preside over the post-conviction proceedings.
The common pleas judge.
The common pleas judge.
Okay.
Everything has to start there before it even makes its way to the appellate courts. And it's that common pleas judge who has to assess the credibility of those witnesses who are coming forward sometimes decades later to say, hey, this defendant is actually innocent. And I saw too many times where I believe judges did not make the right call. They were more interested in maintaining the conviction instead of doing what was fair and just. And so that was my inspiration for running. And eventually I went to law school. So I have a whole life prior to law school. I didn't go to law school until my 30s.
Wow.
So prior to that, I worked in early intervention. I was a teacher in Philadelphia. And I was still doing my advocacy work for a really, really long time. And so I said, I'm going to go to law school so I can help these people. I don't know how I'm going to pay for it, but I'll figure all that out.
Because it's expensive.
It's very expensive to go to law school.
Even the cheap schools are expensive.
They're very expensive, but when there's a will, there's a way.
Amen.
And so I did it. And my first job out of law school actually was as a prosecutor, as a licensed attorney. And so many people were surprised by that because they were familiar with my work in the wrongful conviction community. And so they said, well, we thought you'd be a criminal defense attorney. And I had an opportunity to work as a public defender, but I chose to work as a prosecuting attorney because that's where the most power lies. It's with the government. It's the Commonwealth, because they work hand in hand with the police. They are in control of the evidence and how it's disseminated to the defendant, to the defense attorney. And so I was very compelled to work for victims, because there are people who are victims of some horrendous crimes. But in the same breath, I got to make sure that the rights of the accused were not violated, because that's how you prevent wrongful convictions, is having a good prosecutor who follows the law and ensures that the rights of the accused are not trampled over. And that's how you reduce the occurrence of ineffective assistance of counsel, prosecutorial misconduct. These are all factors that contribute to wrongful convictions. So that's where I got my start. And then I eventually switched over to the defense side. I opened up Williams Law Group, which is based right here in Harrisburg. We have a satellite office in York County. And we do a lot of work in the juvenile justice system here in Dauphin County, where we represent juveniles who are accused of crime. So I'm one of 5 court-appointed attorneys for the county where we represent those kids. And I see firsthand a lot of what is going wrong. There's a lot of trauma, and our children are committing some very serious crimes that needs to be addressed immediately.
Wow. I mean, it sounds to me like you have a depth and breadth of experience that often gets overshadowed by those who may say that you are inexperienced. So what are you going to bring to this role, right? Y'all seen the mailers. I've seen the mailers.
We've seen
She's
them.
inexperienced. She hasn't done this. She's ineffective, blah, blah, blah. But tell me more about what you, with that depth and breadth experience, you've been a prosecutor, tonight you've actually changed my mind about prosecutors, because prosecutors get a bad rap. And hearing you explain it that way, I just have never thought about it that way before. But that experience to me seems to be valuable. So tell me what you would bring to this role that would really be different than what even the other folks were, are ascribing to you.
Yes, I think it's so critical to have someone on the bench who has the experience of having been a prosecutor and a defense attorney. Our prior guest, attorney Katy Kennedy-McShane, talked about her experience on both sides, and that is so critical. One of our Republican opponents, the sitting district attorney, Fran Chardo, has only ever been a prosecutor for the last 31 years. And so you know, he's had a license longer than me, but he does not have more experience than me. So you have to have that balance. You want someone in place who can understand both sides of an argument and not have that tunnel vision when it comes to assessing the facts of a case.
Now, you said something important. Maybe it was like it was like 10 minutes ago. Maybe not, it was 5 minutes ago. But you said conviction rate. What is somebody who has only ever been a prosecutor? How do you think they look at conviction rates?
Typically, I would think that it just really depends on the type of prosecutor a person is. You have someone where it's, you know, just their mission to, you know, work passionately on behalf of victims in society and put the bad guy away. And, you know, I mean, that's not a terrible thing, but when you're talking about seeking a position of judge, that's really not a good thing at all. You are very limited and you can be very myopic, and that is simply because of your life's experience or your lack thereof. So I bring both sides of experience to the position. I also bring effectiveness. So, you know, just earlier this year, you know, there was a case, you all may remember the scandal, the Middletown High School football team scandal, wherein some of the players were accused of hazing. And I was appointed to represent one of those kids, and we ended up going to trial. The prosecutor on the case wanted my client to plead guilty to a specific charge. And when he said no, they then added a very serious felony. And, you know, that is not good prosecuting when you essentially punish a person for exercising their right, their constitutional right to go to trial. So we went to trial and we lost. But then I appealed that case to the Superior Court. And in July, the Superior Court reversed his hazing conviction, finding that there was insufficient evidence for the conviction. Earlier this year, I had a case where a client said some things on Facebook, and the prosecution brought charges against him. And we litigated that case. We filed a habeas corpus motion. I argued that he had First Amendment rights, as well as some other rights. The court agreed and dismissed those charges. So, you know, when we see these mailers saying that I'm ineffective, I have no idea. They have no idea what they're talking about. And it's just rhetoric to advance their agenda. And like Attorney Kennedy-McShane said, it's a very contested race. And
probably one of the most contested we've had in several years.
I would agree. And they're just, you know, looking to win at whatever cost.
Well, that's fine. They can do that. That's true. I have to remain impartial. So, you know, hold me to that.
That's right.
So the other question I have for you is, you know, the climate that we're in right now, and we're seeing judges right now, millions of dollars are being poured into our Superior, Supreme, and our Commonwealth courts because we have retention races at that level. And like we were talking about before, that's really just blowing up every other court around the state of Pennsylvania. All eyes are on Pennsylvania. So what do you make of that political climate right now and everything that's happening? What do you make of this?
You know, I think it's unfortunate that it seems as though, you know, we wait until the 11th hour to educate voters, to get the word out, to make sure voters understand what retention means, to make sure that voters understand what is truly at stake. So that's very unfortunate. But aside from that, you know, I just hope that people are recognizing that our courts are our last resort in these times, and the importance of getting out there to vote, to exercise that right, because we are seeing rights stripped away daily at a very alarming rate.
Absolutely right. And last but not least question, or major question, what words, we see everything that's going on. It is a tense time, as we've been talking about all night. What words of encouragement and hope do you have for Dauphin County residents and for Pennsylvanians?
It is a very tough time. I don't know if of course you've seen a commercial that our campaign put out where I talk about the gun violence crisis that's going on in Dauphin County. It disproportionately affects our young residents. And it ultimately affects all of us because, a bullet does not have a name on it. And there is this domino effect that occurs when someone is harmed due to gun violence. And there are so many shootings that happen that, the public at large may not even hear about. It doesn't make it to the news, perhaps because it did not end in a homicide. But there are people who are victims of shootings and they are seriously injured and maimed. And so there is, as long as we have breath in our bodies, there's always hope for a brighter day. In this particular community, we have so many family units where people are related and they may not even know it. When we win next week, one of the things that I'm looking forward to is having like this really big community sort of family reunion block party so that people can learn and understand like who they're related to. This beef that you have because you're from the Hill and this person is from uptown. You have a beef that is senseless and it's with someone that you're related to. And so we have to know where we come from, literally, and even on a larger scale, knowing ourselves, who we are as a culture, as a people, as a community, so that we can just love up on each other and stop this senselessness that is happening right now.
100%. Agreed. You can clap for that. And finally, we are coming up on it. 6 more days.
Yes.
The votes are rolling in. I have already attached myself to the early return site and I'm just clicking refresh. And the state has a big message up there. They're like, listen, this is your samples. Get off this site. They were talking to me when they put that up there because I literally click refresh every 30 minutes. But what do you have to say to voters of Dauphin County as we head into Tuesday, where the last set of people will be voting?
You just have to get up and do it. Whatever it takes, pull yourself together, make a plan. Tuesday, November the 4th, if you're first shift, second shift, third shift, come up with a plan right now in your mind as to when you're going to be able to just carve out 20, 25 minutes to head to your polling location and cast your vote. It's so important. This is a local election. So you're going to be voting for people who are immediately responsible for issues that affect your everyday life. We're voting for clerk of court. We're voting for Dauphin County judge. We're voting for our appellate judges. We're voting for coroner. We're voting for prothonotary. And then depending on where you live, you're voting for a mayor. You're voting for your township supervisors.
Council, borough councils, city councils. What is the other one they call them? What do you call them? Like Susquehanna? Commissioners. Thank you. Yep.
Absolutely. And remember that for our race, you can vote if you live anywhere in Dauphin County.
Yes.
So it's not just the city of Harrisburg. So if you live somewhere that touches the city of Harrisburg or touches someplace that touches the city of Harrisburg. So I'm speaking of Stilton, Susquehanna Township, Lower Paxton, Middle Paxton, Upper Paxton, Middletown, Swatara,
Lower Swatara,
High Spire, Lower Swatara, Hershey, Derry Township, all those places.
What else did we learn? We learned, there's so many there. I learned that Hershey is actually not its own thing. And it's actually
Derry
Township. And what was the other one?
High Spire. Hummelstown.
Hummelstown is also not its own thing. It's also not a municipality. What's the other? It's South Hanover is a part of Hershey. There's Hanover and South Hanover, right? West Hanover. I did not know all of this.
Yes.
You can also vote if you live above Peters Mountain and Halifax and Millersburg and all those townships up there. Elizabethville. So like our county has 478,000 residents, about 2/3 of which are voting residents, right? People who vote. So we have a lot of ground to cover, and we need you guys' help getting out the vote. But go back to you. Go ahead. That's my passion.
No, that's so critically important. Every single vote matters.
Absolutely.
The last time I ran, I came within 2,000 votes of the victory.
Yes.
And in a county where 70,000 people cast votes, that is a very small number. So don't think that your vote doesn't count.
Every vote.
Don't think that she got it. No, I don't have it without your vote. Like you have to actually cast a vote in order for me to have it.
Do you want her to get it? You got to vote. You got to go and vote. Yes. Tina's over there talking, but say what she said.
Tina said, representation matters, and it is long overdue in Dauphin County. We have a good bench now. I have practiced in front of every judge that is currently on the Dauphin County Court of Common Pleas. But we can be so much better. Just imagine. And having prosecuted in 2 different counties in the area as a defense attorney, traveling to different counties within our region to represent individuals, I see so many different programs, and I see what is going really well in Dauphin County, but I also see where we can improve based on different initiatives happening in other counties. And I am so eager to bring a fresh new perspective to Dauphin County, but I can only do that if you pull all the strength that you have to get up on Tuesday, November the 4th and cast your vote.
Amen. Amen. She said what needed to be said. I want to thank you for being here. This is
you for
amazing.
having me.
And yes, tell us your website.
Latasha 4 FOR Latasha4countyjudge.com.
That's perfect. And we're almost done. We'll be right back with Last Lap. Woo-hoo. See you in a second. All right. Very important. Thank you for tuning in tonight, but we have one more important thing to do. In addition to it being voting day on Tuesday, November the 4th, right now you can be turning in your mail-in ballot. And here with me tonight to help you know how to do that is my very good friend, Mr. Daniel Snowden.
Thank you very much.
How you feeling? I know you wasn't feeling well. I'm glad you could make it.
Oh, sure. I mean, I figured this is important enough to actually get out here and do, because after all, if you don't vote, how are you going to be represented?
That's right. That's right.
That means you're giving up your right to representation to somebody else.
That's right.
Who in the right mind would do that?
Now, did you bring your ballot with you tonight?
I did, actually.
Very good.
By the way, the mail-in ballot actually it comes with instructions.
Yes, it does.
It does. So I guess the first thing you'd have to do, of course, is fill out your ballot like this. You have to fill out. Remember, the ballot has a side here, but it has 2 sides.
Yes.
So you have to fill that out first.
Now, what's on the front side for us? Now, where do you live? Let's first talk about that.
Well, I live in East Harrisburg, Bellevue Park here, right across the street from Harrisburg High.
Got it. Okay, so you are in which voting district?
I guess it would be the one. I know my voting area is The 9th ward, yeah.
Yes, 9th Ward, 5th Precinct. So on your ballots, it'll tell you exactly where you are in the county. We're in Dauphin County. It'll tell you what ward or precinct in what municipality that you are voting. So that's important to know, because folks will be, well, how come I can't vote for Harrisburg mayor? Are you a Harrisburg resident? That's what you got to know first. Okay, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. And after you fill out your ballot, it doesn't stop there. You have to put your ballot in this secrecy envelope first.
And that's where I always mess up. This is where I always mess up. Right here.
Because if your ballot isn't in this envelope first before it goes into the main envelope, then it won't be counted.
That's right. That's right.
So you have to put your ballot in there. And
now before you put your ballot in there, let me see this ballot.
Okay.
Now, you got to make sure you do something very important here. You got to fill out both
sides.
You know why that is? On the front. So he's in Harrisburg. You've got your Superior Court judge. You've got your Court of Common Pleas, your judge of the Commonwealth Court, Prothonotary, coroner, clerk of courts. Tina Nixon's on there. You see her name. And let me tell you, he has this all filled out. And I don't know what you can see. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you what he voted for, but okay. You've got the mayor. Okay. You've got council. Okay. You've got city controller. In Harrisburg, we have our city controllers up. But on the back, dun, 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 we have our judge retention ballots. And that's very important. And here, you also have school director for our school boards. We also have our judge of elections, and we have our inspector of elections. And the retentions are different than everything else. It's a yes, no. Yes, no. Yes to retain the judges. Do you like clean air and clean water? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you like having fair districts? Then you know how to vote. I can't tell you how to vote. I'm just telling you, if you like those things, you know what to do. Okay. So you have Supreme Court retention. Supreme Court retention again. Supreme Court retention again. We have 3 Supreme Court judges that are up for retention. You also have Superior Court retention, and you have that 1 seat for Superior Court, and we have 1 seat for the Commonwealth Court. Those are all state level courts. Everyone in the state, if you can hear me and you live in the state of Pennsylvania and you're a voter, you have all those on your ballot. All of those are on your ballot. Did you hear what I said? They're all on the ballot.
Exactly.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. Go ahead. This is your show. You go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, sure. No, hey, no problem. I'm always willing to share. And then you have to once your ballot is completed, you have to put it in the official election envelope here.
That's right.
And once you've sealed that off, you have to seal that in too.
Mm-hmm.
And then the final thing you have to do is, this is the main ballot that you take back to the Dauphin County Board of Elections and mail it in. But in there, when you put this envelope here, has to have the ballot in it. If it goes into this envelope, which of course after you put it in there, the last thing you need to do, after sealing it, of course, would be you have to sign and date it.
That's right.
So that means you have to go down here and sign. You have to sign your ballot. It has a sign and date spot right here, and you have to when the date you put in has to be the date that you sign it.
The date that you sign it. Don't backdate it, and please don't forward date it. Lord have mercy. Don't do that either. Don't do that either. Okay.
Well, I'll admit to it. This is something I always wanted to do, because every election, on year and off year, I go on Facebook and tell everybody, okay, well, it's election time, so get out there and vote. Because if you don't vote, then you're giving up your right to be represented to somebody else.
Right. That's exactly right.
If you like things the way they are, or if you want change, either case, get out there and vote.
That's right. That's right. That's right. You heard that. If you like things the way they are, or if you want change, both things, you got to get out there and vote. That's very important.
Because if you don't vote, your voice won't be heard. And I, like yourself, really don't want to hear any voices after the election.
I don't. I personally don't. I don't. I'm gonna fake listen. I am. I'm like, oh, you're sad? That's crazy. That's crazy. Does it need posted?
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, it does. But there's a way you can get around that, though.
There is.
And that says the Dauphin County Board of Elections is located at it's 1251 South 28th Street in Harrisburg, PA. Right. So the closest thing to that would be that's off of Harrisburg, and it's on Harrisburg, but it's on Paxton Street and 28th Street. So
yes,
if you go up a couple of blocks on where Paxton Street Paxton 20th Street meet, you'll see it right there, because the first thing you'll see is I believe that's a judge's office is there, courthouse. But after that, though, if you go up, and I think there's a business of some kind after that. But right after that one is the Board of Elections itself.
He's talking like I know my sense of direction. I don't. I'm gonna put it in the GPS. We're gonna put it in the GPS.
Right.
It is 1251 South 28th Street, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania 17111. You also can drop them off in several sites around the county. So you can do the ballot drop box. We have one at the Dauphin County Administration Building on 2nd Street. We have a couple up closer. I think we have one near Halifax, if it's either in or near. And then we have a couple more. I think we have six or seven around the county. So you do have places you can drop off those ballots. You cannot take it to the polling place. You cannot, if you take it to the polling place, you're surrendering that ballot, and then you're getting a provisional ballot. And the last thing you have to know, I just did a training on this for GOTV for the county. If you are unsure that your mail-in ballot was counted, or if you are at the right polling place, request a provisional ballot. If you are, thank you, clap. Yeah, you can clap for that. If you are unsure for any reason about your ballot, go to the polling place, any polling place in our county. If you're a resident of Dauphin County, you moved, you're like, I'm not sure what's going on, request a provisional ballot. Request a provisional ballot. Why, Kamika? Because as long as you are a resident of Pennsylvania, some of those will count. Your state will count. Your state level will count. They will nix out the other ones if you are not in the correct county. If you're in the correct county but not in the correct municipality, they'll nix out the municipality and the county will count. Request a provisional ballot if you're not sure. Do you understand what I'm saying? Part of your vote can count. Maybe not all, but it doesn't matter. Get that provisional ballot, and if it is incorrect, it'll get thrown out. If it's partially correct, it'll partially count. And if it's totally correct, it'll all count. Don't forget to request a provisional ballot. All right.
And I'll just leave this one last thing. If you use this method, of course, if you do the mail-in ballot, just be sure to sign and date it, because that too has been in the courts from time to time now, because there were some ballots that didn't have the correct date on them, or that weren't signed. They weren't counted. So to make certain that your vote counts, if you use this method, be sure to have the sign and use the date that you signed it on to make sure that your ballot gets counted, and send it directly to the Dauphin County Board of Elections.
And if you're doing it tomorrow, it's too late. You need to drop it off. Do not put it in the mail. Don't risk it. Just go ahead and drop it off. If you have not mailed your ballot by now, Thursday, you won't even have time if there was an issue to cure, because usually cure is announced on Friday before election, since we've been doing our mail-in ballots. So if you have not mailed it by now, put it in a drop box or take it to the county. Make sense?
Yep, because that's what I'm doing. I'm taking mine directly to the Dauphin County Board of Elections.
Me as well. Thank you so much, Daniel.
Oh, certainly.
And this has been wonderful.
Okay, sure.
And I want to thank you for being here.
Certainly.
I want to thank all of our guests for being here.
All right.
A wonderful night. And I want to say, like I always say, it is wonderful having you all. We're coming down to the end of season 5 of the Black Newsbeat. Can you believe it? We will have a couple more shows in November, a couple in December for the holidays, and we'll be off for January. We'll be back with season 6. But before that, I want to say, without you, there is no Black Newsbeat. We are so thankful for our community. We're so thankful for you guys tuning in. We're so thankful for you sharing the show. Y'all don't be responding on Facebook, but everybody, well, I saw the show and I saw what you said. Come on and get in the comments next time and tell me a thing or two. But we are appreciative of the community that we built for the Black Newsbeat. And I want to say, as always, I love y'all. Big up yourselves. Clap for yourselves.
All right.
Oh, I got to tell you Tina Nixon's website. And also, can my women candidates come on up as we're sitting here and standing here?
Okay, so I guess I'll need this one.
Yeah, you can take this. Yeah. You can sit right here. Come on. One by Daniel's going to move out the way. It's not going to fall. Everyone want to get on that? Is that a bunch? Get that bench. Yeah. But bring it up a little bit. Yeah, we're still there. So Tina, tell them your website.
VoteTinaNixon.com.
Yes, VoteTinaNixon.com.
VoteTinaNixon.com.
Say it again. Say it again.
VoteTinaNixon.com.
So originally, no shade to Jim, but this was supposed to be a women's empowerment show for women that are on the ballot this time. And I just want to say to you ladies, you guys give me a lot of hope. And I'm very proud and honored to have 3 very wonderful women on the ballot. this November, and I wish you all the luck. I'm very excited.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ladies. Absolutely right.
Thank you.
All right. It is the end of the show, and I will see you in a couple of weeks. Good night.
Good night.